Hello and welcome. This is rooflemonger, my friends. We are now officially in the week of EVO 2023. EVO, the single biggest fighting game event every single year, and with EVO, on top of fantastic competition, fantastic moments, always comes with a few juicy reveals and promotions. And with that said, today's video is basically, well, what exactly can we expect? What might there be revealed come EVO 2023? Some things are a bit more obvious, some maybe not as obvious. So one of the first things to expect out of the gate is the very first day, Friday. So Friday, there's a bunch of panels, and not the least of which, starting off the panels, is our friends at Arc System Works. So Arc System Works, Guilty Gear Strive is still very much ongoing. They have already confirmed months ago that Season 3 is happening, it's a guarantee, and Asuka, our last character of Season 2, well, that was a little whiles ago now, right? And this is basically the exact right time to announce Season 3. To that point, if Season 3 is not announced at EVO, I would actually be legitimately shocked. I think it's almost a guarantee. Now, what details will they give along with that? Characters? I know for a very long time, people have been waiting for Slayer and Johnny. Heck, Slayer's been in the game files for a good while as well, right? So maybe Slayer will finally make his debut. Obviously, with a new season, there'll probably be some system level changes as well. Perhaps there'll be another cinematic story mode. But Guilty Gear content, I feel, is basically a given. Maybe it won't all be revealed at this panel. Maybe we'll wait for Finals Day on Sunday. But still, it'll be there almost for sure. And heck, maybe even some other Arc System Works related projects. And hey, speaking of ArcSys, Grand Blue Fantasy vs. Rising will also be shown on the panels. After that, even more ArcSys with Guilty Gear specifically, so maybe their first panel could be something all new. And then we get Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2. They got money and a budget for a sequel. That's awesome. And that's just on the ArcSys end of things, right? So we have Guilty Gear, we got Grand Blue Fantasy vs. Rising, and whoever else, what we don't know, right? But something will happen. And what about Tekken? So Tekken, the closed network test finished up. Just so you know, I played it for a bit, and while I don't think the netcode is quite Street Fighter 6 good, I think it's a very damn sight better than Tekken 7 for sure. And obviously something's going to happen. The network test was data mined, if you saw that video, so we have a good idea of some of the next few characters, but still character trailers, I feel, are almost a given for EVO. Who knows what exactly? They did say no guest characters at launch, although that basically confirms guest characters as DLC. But yeah, no guest characters at launch, but still, there's a lot of characters to go through, and we still have opportunity for all new characters as well. And if you're going to show a new character for Tekken 8, EVO's a pretty good place to do it. And speaking of character reveals, Project L. So Project L is confirmed to be on site and playable on site. So if you're at EVO, I highly suggest you go try it out. It's a pretty cool game. And we're getting an all new character revealed for EVO for Project L. Now, who knows who that's going to be exactly, but still a guaranteed character reveal. That's sick. That's awesome. I'm definitely for it. It's always nice when you have something guaranteed to look forward to. What about our friends over at SNK? So we do know that Naj, the next DLC character, will be playable on site, so we can get a sneak preview of her early. That's cool. And we do know that there's a lot more DLC characters to come for Season 2 of The King of Fighters 15, so perhaps trailers for those characters? Just maybe. Seems like a good place to hype some new KOF 15 content at the very least. And speaking of new content, in case you're somehow unaware, last year at EVO, they announced they're making a new Garou, Marco the Wolf / new Fatal Fury game. If you never saw the video I made a few months ago about the upwards trajectory of SNK lately, SNK is kind of well on its way to becoming maybe the biggest fighting game company because they're supercharging their staff in terms of numbers and also the amount of money that they have to play around with. So this game could very well be a very, very big deal. I'm sure it's nowhere near actually done just yet, but perhaps a first look at gameplay could very well be the case at EVO 2023. And if so, color me very, very excited. I definitely want to see what a new Fatal Fury looks like. And of course, there's room for just lots of proper surprises, things we can't really guess at, right? So there's going to be a lot of indie games at EVO 2023. I'm going to try to do my best to see a lot of them myself. And for the indie games, there's just big unknowns, right? Like some will be making their debut there. Some have been in the works for years now, and EVO is sort of the coming out party. So there's certainly going to be a lot out of the indie side of things, almost guaranteed, I would say. So look forward to that. And of course, there's big speculation, obviously Marvel versus Capcom 3 getting finals day, Sunday, big tournament, all that, right? Will Marvel versus Capcom 4 show up? Now that I don't know. I would love a new Marvel game, but will it happen? I don't think so. I think for a variety of reasons, even though I love the game to death myself, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite kind of poisoned the well on the Disney/Capcom relationship. I still hold out hope for a Capcom versus Capcom fighting game, like say Capcom All-Stars or whatever you want to call it, because Capcom has a deep enough roster. You know, Street Fighter, Monster Hunter, Resident Evil, which are honestly, let's get real, much bigger franchises than Street Fighter, right? They can pull together a roster for a versus game. They don't need another company to do it. And besides, if we're going to be real here, and if I just want to make a few enemies right now, I'd much rather Capcom vs. SNK 3 than Marvel vs. Capcom 4, just to be real about it. That said, though, I'm sure there'll be some big secret announcement that none of us just know about, but it's just one of those things is, how do you speculate on something you don't know about, right? For me, I would love a Virtua Fighter 6 to get announced out of the blue, but once again, I don't know if that's going to happen. Now, this does leave us at one big question mark. So Street Fighter 6. Street Fighter 6 is the main event of EVO 2023. Like, make no bones about it, right? And obviously enough, Capcom has to have something to announce, because they'd be crazy not to. But what do you announce for Street Fighter 6 at EVO? Obviously enough, Rashid was just launched. He's very much brand new, so brand new to the fact that it's shocking that they're allowing him to be playable at all at EVO, right? So he's so new that can we possibly expect a trailer for, say, Aki? So of the 4 DLC characters promised for year 1 of Street Fighter 6, Aki is the second. And very tantalizing in a way, because we know the least about her. A lot of people assume she's somehow Fang related with, say, a poison mechanic or whatever. Similar dress style, seems to have like poisoned fingertips, but we don't actually know, right? Versus Ed and Akuma, we have a pretty good idea what they're going to be all about. So she's scheduled for autumn release date. Doesn't say when, right? You gotta assume, you know, you'd have some breathing time between the DLC characters. So effectively, you'd think she's a little too far out to announce or show at EVO. The only thing potentially pointing in her favor is at the Capcom booth on site. They are giving away a special EVO Udon Street Fighter comic, and it does have Aki on the cover. Which to me is saying, you know, they're willing to go forward a bit with the Aki push. She's the next up after Rashid. Rashid also on the cover. So the promotional wheels are starting to turn just a little bit. But basically, if not Aki, then what? Obviously, we're due a bunch of costumes. I'm actually shocked. We're like 2 months into Street Fighter 6 and they haven't sold me like, you know, 5 to 10 costumes. Because costumes are the lifeblood of Street Fighter 5 for sure, right? And people love those costumes. I love those costumes. I will buy your costumes, Capcom. Sell me your costumes, right? But we haven't been shown or sold any. So at bare minimum, some costumes would be pretty cool to show off. But you can't end EVO, main stage, grand final with just some costumes, right? A DLC character, if it was Aki, that we can get, that we can wrap our head around. But if just costumes and nothing else, what else could you do other than, say, an all-new game? Which, once again, brings us back to that Marvel vs. Capcom 4 discussion, which I don't think is going to happen. But that's the only thing that would make sense if you're not going to be showcasing the next DLC character. Unless you want to go the SNK route and announce, oh, by the way, we have a new DLC character completely free to download, go get him, which, as much as that would blow my mind, I don't think Papa Capcom is in the business of giving away free characters. I'd definitely be all for it, but I don't think that's happening. And to me, that's the biggest mystery, actually. Like Tekken, will we get a character trailer too? Yeah, sure. Arc System Works, Season 3 of Guilty Gear Strive? Yep, sure. And maybe something else. SNK, show off some new characters, maybe show off some more Garou? Sure, gotcha. Mortal Kombat 1 is going to be on site. Will there be a Mortal Kombat 1 trailer reveal? Yeah, sure, makes sense. But Capcom, what's the deal? And to that, I would actually like to throw it to you guys for your speculation, because I would be very interested in hearing what you guys want to say about that in the comments below, because it is the biggest mystery to me. Aki seems just a little bit too far away, given their own scheduling they gave us, but you got to give us something big to end EVO off at. We'll find out by the end of the week, I'm sure. You know, that's how time works, I guess. But until then, we kind of got to twiddle our fingers. So in the end, that's just some of my thoughts and speculations on the matter, what we'll see at EVO 2023. I will be at EVO 2023 on site, so if you want to see me, say hi. Hey, I'll be at large, I'll be around. And until then, well, I guess we're at the end of the video. So thank you very much for watching. Hope this video has found you well, and go out and play some fighting games.